guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We are still here at the Genesis booth because there is a lot of excitement of what Genesis is planning for the future, and this is one of those pieces of the future. Let me introduce you to the Genesis Neo Loon concept. But before we get into this larger size SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Genesis, this brand that started back in 2015. Not a long time ago, but boy oh boy, have they been making plenty of waves in the auto industry with their full lineup, starting with the G80 and then growing it from there, and now doing the business when it comes to SUVs. The first was the GV80, and I'm sure we can remember how Tiger Woods made that GV80 very popular and really name brand famous. I remember when I was driving a press fleet vehicle, somebody asked me, is this the vehicle that Tiger Woods was driving? Well, guess what? Now they have other SUVs in their lineup, and this Neo Loon concept is the direction of the future. So what I want to find out is Genesis still on the right track with what they're bringing, especially going with a larger SUV to go up against the competition? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this Neo Loon concept and find out. Right off the bat, the shape. You still see that familiar Genesis shape and design, even though this is larger than the GV80. Now at the front of the business, love the way they work the accent lighting, especially into where you would have that large grille shape. Now, a lot of people, when you see Neo Loon, that means new moon. But guess what? A lot of people are calling this potentially the future of the GV90, which would be all new for Genesis. Working our way down, you see that usual attention to detail all the way around when it comes to the crisscross shape, your LED lighting in the silver trim, and then working our way down, same story with that large opening. But it's the attention to detail. You see the points, how all the points line up and really gives it such a signature look. Now, of course, you're gonna have that prominent Genesis name badge on the top. Like I said, 2015, what started off life as a Hyundai sedan called the Genesis Sedan is now that premium level brand going up against Cadillac, going up against BMW, Lincoln, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, and the rest of them. Now, as we come around the bend, it's that unique style that I think Genesis is really bringing to the forefront. And you could tell with this ginormous 24-inch wheel. Talk about big as a New York pizza. This wheel does it. I love all the nice metalwork accents, the machined aluminum around those openings, and that center cap covering where you would find your usual lug nuts. It's going to be interesting to see what designs carry over from the Neo Loon concept into the actual production-ready model. Now, rising back up, that signature lighting folding into the front fender around the wheel archers, even your side signature lighting. You see the attention to detail, you see that purposeful look, and what I love even more, I don't know if Lori can show this off, is the two-tone that we have going on. That lighter silverish blue with that dark blue on the hood. Very seductive, very classy, all at the same time. Now, of course, with this being a concept, you could go kind of all in and really show all those appointments. So what Genesis likes to do, instead of putting a DOT required side mirror, is you're gonna find the metal work in this side camera. So all polished aluminum, and then when you swing around, Lori can show off that camera that actually there's a screen inside for you to see. And when we talk about the interior, we're talking about more technology than what you've ever seen in any other Genesis product, including a hardwood floor, if you could be that. Along the bottom, you got that side skirt extension. I love the way they're bringing illumination. I really think that this is a direction of many brands to bring illumination into their designs to create personality. When you see the front end of a Genesis coming at you, you know it's a Genesis vehicle because of that signature lighting. Same thing with this Neo Loon. Coming down the side, I don't know if you remember when we brought to you, we did the Rolls-Royce Ghost and the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Doors are gonna open up suicide barn style. So wait until we get to the other side to show you what is happening on the interior, but you can see how much larger the rear door is compared to the front door. And it's gonna be interesting to see how Cadillac combats what Genesis is bringing with this Neo Loon concept. Coming towards the rear, the machined aluminum, love the way everything is flush. And I think Lori could pick it up the best is that if you look at this rear fender, everything with the glass and the trim is nice and flush. And the way that rear fender flares out into our signature taillight design. So really nice the way they have that taillight design, and boy oh boy did they hit it right on the back. No exposed wiper, no spoiler coming off the back. You have your third brake light nicely nestled and sprinkled in that top area. Here's a little fun fact. When did the third brake light first become DOT required? That was back in 1986. And there it is on this concept. The lighting going all the way across with that Genesis name nice and sunken into the back lift back. And then working our way down to ground level, same thing with the exterior lighting all the way around. This not only is going to wrap somebody in luxury and opulent effects, but it's also going to create a presence rolling down the road. But why don't we go ahead, let's check out the interior and see if they're bringing it big from Genesis. All right, guys, we have to thank the people at Genesis for allowing the doors to be open to bring you inside, because it's not just about the exterior wrapper, it's all about the interior as well. So coming on into what would be the business side of things, you're gonna notice some things that maybe look out of place. On this concept, you actually have front seats that can rotate. So the passenger and the driver's side seat can rotate so that you could actually, not while you're driving, but while you're parked, be able to have maybe a meeting or a conversation or something important going on with the passengers in the rear. Look at all the work on the bottom. When we talk about hardwood finishes, look at all of the wood finish, the unique attention to detail, nice flat floor all the way across is going to maximize your passenger volume, your leg volume, and then of course, go into the door panel. You have cashmere, you have leather, you have all these different effects. And that is what's going to bring all the details. Everything's lit up like little jewels that you would find. The cashmere, the premium, all the metals and materials, even along the bottom here. Look at the way the sill actually drops down to be a step. So you have that running board effect that drops down to be a step into the vehicle, fully illuminated. The ease of getting in and out of this would be easy peasy lemon squeezy. And of course, because this is something to bring it to the utmost level, you have your chauffeur luxury seating. Of course, you'd have things like massage seating, ventilated, cooled, the whole thing, heated, that center bridge system with tons of storage. And then I'm gonna have Lori swing around and see if she could show off those screens that actually just drip down from the ceiling with the ambient lighting, all of the different speakers. And then of course, coming back up front, this infotainment system screen that looks like it's right out of Circuit City television section. That has to be easily a 30-inch screen. So interesting to see the technology, interesting to see the features. You have a column shift for the transmission. Will this be the competitor to take down the Escalade IQ? It's gonna be interesting, but these are the things that we like to bring and definitely want to experience more. So let's go ahead, let's wrap it up from the New York Auto Show. All right, guys, this is why we love coming to the auto shows. It's the pageantry, it's the excitement, it's what is the possibilities when it comes to the design, to the attention to detail, to all the luxurious features of the Genesis brand. And it's fascinating to think that it all started with the G80 sedan and grew from there. When we talk about the SUV specifically, this would be their largest one if this comes into production, because you have the GV80, which is going to be your midsize. Then of course you have your compact, which is the GV70, and then you also have that little bit smaller GV60. Now what's fascinating is that I think Genesis is doing a great job bringing in their electrification. So not only can you get a GV80 that's internal combustion engine, or GV70 that's internal combustion engine, you could also get a GV70 electrified, which is full electrification. So it's going to be interesting to see if they do the same thing with this vehicle, because let's be real, this is your next GV90. I mean, you look at the shape, you look at the size, it just makes sense to have that larger SUV. And if you go back to the original full-size luxury SUV, what was it? The Lincoln Navigator. All the way back many years, then you run into brands like Cadillac taking a Tahoe, putting a couple Cadillac badges on it, and calling it an Escalade, and now they have a full lineup of Escalade, and then like I said, that Escalade IQ that's gonna be coming into production very shortly. But let me know if you're digging the style, the color choices, and if you feel like Genesis does lighting the best, because I really feel like when it comes to lighting effects, that's where Genesis makes it happen. But let me know what your thoughts are on this Neo Loon. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rise family. And we can't do it without LG Raiti working that camera like the champ that she is. Show her some love in the comment section. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.